This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Okay, this is SwagDean again with Dicey Commando, and we're back talking about the Dicey Companions draft kit supporting the ARH era. Today I wanted to talk about subtypes. The way I approached this kit, kind of comparing it to what we had in the past, and then, discussing maybe the missed opportunities and why I allowed us to miss them. So, right off, I just want to jump into our subtypes that we have. So in the ARH era, there are 23 subtypes. Obviously, in my 2021 card kit, I'm not going to be able to give you all of them. But I did give access to a lot more than you had in Allies of Necessity. So if you look at Allies of Necessity, we've got Leader Sith, Pilot Trooper, Scavenger Scoundrel, Claudite gives you access to everything, and potentially if you take that character, and then Knighthood can give Jedi. So those are the answers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 you can get naturally, and if you take the 6 cost character, you can kind of make them anything. I didn't want to repeat that again, although it is a natural, criticism of the kit, is that why didn't you just have another shape-shifting kind of character? The main reason is that the dream of a draft, and usually what your agenda is to build a rainbow. And if you build a rainbow, it means you don't take the gray character. So I didn't want to lock the ability to, get access to the different subtypes to a character, which is why I came up with the Stolen Uniform, where you can put this in your kit no matter what kind of team you build and open up that kind of flexibility. But in my kit, we have, Inquisitor, Leader Pilot, Scoundrel Spy, Droid Pirate. So there's more up front. And then with the plots, Bounty Hunter, Trooper, Witch. So more subtypes are jumping in. Obviously, we have, like the Claudite, we do have a versatile way to get any of them. But with that, let's jump into the subtypes that I neglected and some of the reasoning behind it. So there are 2 right off the bat that are really locked to like a race, and that would be Twi'lek and Wookiee. Now with my kit, I created the challenge, which I was trying to help with IRL building, is that I was using all parallel dice. For me then to support either Twi'lek or Wookiee really locks me in. And then I also was trying to not have any repeat characters, at least off the bat, with characters that exist in ARH. So for Twi'leks, I would only have Ayla and Hera. Both of them exist in ARH era. And with Wookiee, I guess I could use Tarful or the generic Wookiee warrior. But I didn't love those options or those dice sometimes specifically. So there's a reason I didn't support those 2. And then there are also some subtypes that are not heavily supported in ARH. There is Spectre, unique to the Spectre team characters. Shapeshifter, Zam is the only one, and I don't think there's any cards that reference it. Night Brother, I think Terran may be the only Night Brother. Maybe there's one other, but not a ton of cards supporting that subtype. Scavenger, like on Ren here, there are a couple things that reference it, but a lot of the references to it are actually in Echoes of Destiny cards, I believe. Guard, there's a few cards that gain Guard, but there's more things referencing Guardian than the Guard subtype. So I didn't get into. Those are the reasons I didn't support those archetypes. Next, we get into 2 that are interesting quirks, which is Musician and Engineer. The characters You do use them in draft, especially because they tend to be cheaper. You droop them a cool 7, you get access to yellow. It's not bad. But if you look at their dice, they don't as inherently sometimes support a win condition, while you can mill with them. They don't always deal a ton of damage, so I feel like we're kind of naturally devaluing engineers and musicians a little bit in draft, just because you kind of want damage sides on your dice. And because I felt like we're leaning away from those archetypes a little bit more in the draft format specifically, because we can't build all around it and really get maximum value out of what they do. You don't have a deck full of mods or your charm cards to really maximize their value, that it wouldn't be a good use of my resources to really lean into either of those two archetypes. Which then leads us to the big boys: Jedi, Sith, and Apprentice. The main reason I didn't put them in the kit is, one, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Jedi and Sith, so you do often get presented with them as an option when you're drafting. So that oftentimes will solve itself. And then with Apprentice, a lot of their cards not only reference Apprentice, but then also Jedi or Sith. So like you can't just have Apprentice. You oftentimes really rewarded for having Jedi and Apprentice or Sith and Apprentice. And that's just harder to do in draft. So really supporting Apprentice just didn't really seem like a worthwhile venture there. Jedi and Sith, it's definitely, I was tempted to slap Sith on the Inquisitor, but they didn't do that with the other Inquisitors in ARH. Like all the other in the kit in their sets are pretty much just Inquisitor. They're not Inquisitor Sith. So I just felt like there's a history there then to go the same way with my character. Which is why I didn't do those. So while you can get those with a stolen uniform, I just went base Inquisitor for our Inquisitor. So 23 subtypes is a lot to support. I did my best. I feel like this kit supports subtypes more than the last one. But, there were sacrifices and choices that had to be made. And not everyone may agree with all of them, but I wanted to kind of lay out some of my reasoning for what I supported and what I neglected. But my hope is that you'll still be able to get into those kinds of synergies, supporting different subtypes choices as you draft with this kit. So that is going to do it for me today. Thanks for hanging out with me. And as always, go Commando.